So we are of one mind, right? Which is the mind of God. So that means we exist together in love because God is love and that is our creation, right? So God is omnipresent, meaning God doesn't exist as one being, one entity, right? God resides in all of us. God is the power of our essence, the power of our being, right? So God is in each and every one of us. So in that sense, even though we are our individual selves, we are connected, we are together, we are whole as one being, as one child, right, of God. We are the essence of the children of God. We are the creation of God. So we have the power to call on one another in love, you know. A good example of this is, have you seen Sense 8, right? Sense 8 is about like a just thought of beings, right? Of people, but their souls are connected, right? So they exist kind of as one entity. And they are, you know, these people are scattered all over the world, but they're of different cultures, different backgrounds, but they're of one mind, they're of one just thought, they're of one being, right? So they help each other out in crisis. They build each other up. They commune with one another, right? In every way, and they exist as one being, you know. And I love the concept of that show because, you know, our truth comes out in our artwork. It comes out in our creativity. And our creativity is of our true divine nature, right? So shows like that, or shows like the OA, or shows like that show our true nature, our true eternal nature, and how we're truly connected, right? There's no real separation between us. We only perceive a separation because we perceive ourselves as the body. But there's no real separation between us, you know. As individual creations of God, we're endowed with our own uniqueness, but that is used together in to create something even greater, right? Even better. So it's just like, you know, our cells within every cell within our body, right? We have trillions of cells within our body, but every cell is its own universe. You know what I'm saying? But it works together for our body to work. You know what I'm saying? For our body to communicate, for our organs to communicate with each other, and all of that together in turn allows our body to function. You know what I'm saying? And in that, you know, as above, so below, that is how our consciousness, not only our consciousness, but that is how our being is being used. You know, God resides within all of it. So we look at each other as separate. We look at you know, our different cultures and our different belief systems as separate, when actually they're one and the same, right? Everything, you know, within different religions around the world, we're personifying energy, right? We are energy personified as well, you know. And the only reason why we personify it is so that we can understand it, because we're separated from the true self, because we're separated from the energetic reality of our being. We see our being as physical, you know. So we use physical terms and physical language and physical understanding in order to understand entities energetically. Different parts of the world and different belief systems are going to give energies different personifications based on the culture, based on what has been developed there, you know. But they're ultimately the same type of energies, right? So if I call on Kalima, right, the remover of obstacles, you know what I'm saying? I'm asking that energy to remove obstacles in my life, right? And that energy is endowed with the power of God, just like I'm an energy endowed with the power of God. So that energy can come and help me and remove obstacles within my life, you know what I'm saying? And we can call on each other, and we can call on different entities, different deities that to help us in our life, to help us expand in ourselves, because that is what we do. We are love in communion with itself, you know what I'm saying? So we commune in love. So we call on different things, we call on different energies, we call on our ancestors, we call on our angels, you know. Those are different energies, right? Those are different energies personified that we call on to help us throughout our life, you know. And that is the same in our true connection to one another, right? If we wish somebody well, if we wish them love, and we send out that energy of love, they're going to receive that, because energy is real. You know what I'm saying? And separation is not real. So they're going to receive that. And in contrast, when you do the same thing, when you send out negative energies, when you send out, when you wish ill upon people, when you want, you know, destruction upon somebody else, you're sending out those energies as well. You're sending out negative energy. And these energies can possibly have an effect on the person, right? If you send out negative energies, that can possibly have an effect on the person, depending on their discernment, right? If they feel like, if that energy comes towards them and they feel like, and they can't discern between their own energy and something that's being thrown out towards them, they're going to feel the negative effects of that energy. And it's also going to come back to you, you know what I'm saying? Because you are part of that oneness, you know? But that giving out of negative energy has no real purpose, right? It only stagnates. It only brings more conflict. It only causes more destruction and more lovelessness. You know, it has no real function in itself. You know, but when you send out positive energy, when we connect with one another in spirit, right? When we meditate on another person in love, we have the ability to create miracles, you know, and miracles are a natural part of our being, because it is about our connection, right? And our connection with one another is natural, right? If you can see beyond a person's ego to the truth of who they are, you can remind them of who they are through your faith in them, you know, and that's what a miracle is. You're bringing about a change in reality based on your faith in them. You know what I'm saying? For example, if you look at Christ and how he healed the sick, or he brought back people from the dead, he told the lame to take up his bed and walk. You know what I'm saying? So The person's belief in Christ took his belief out of his sickness and put it into the faith that Christ has in him. You know what I'm saying? So our faith in each other, when we exhibit faith in ourselves, then that inspires each other, because our faith in each other allows healing, right? It allows us to have faith within ourselves, right? If that person can do it, then I can do it. Each person is teaching and inspiring the other to, in life, in love, you know? When you have a connection to your ancestors and your angels and your spirit guides, right? They'll show you signs. They're reinforcing your faith in love, your faith in yourself, your faith in them. You know what I'm saying? They're reinforcing the power of your own self, you know? Through the symbols, through the guidance. So they're reinforcing your faith in the universe, right? They're reinforcing your faith in truth, you know? So when one person believes in their greatness, right, to do whatever it is that they are called to do, whatever it is within their creation, they inspire others to believe in themselves that, you know, if this person can do it, I can try to do it, right? And then the next person believes in their greatness, you know, and then the next person believes in their greatness. So it spreads like wildfire, you know what I'm saying? We're here to inspire one another, to commune with one another, to be with one another, you know, not to tear each other down, not to cause further separation, not to be stuck within an illusion, you know?